So Gimpo was awesome. Like I said, I served most of my mission there, like 5 transfers or 6 or something. I can't remember now. But the cool thing about Gimpo is, well, first of all, let me kind of explain. Like when I was flying into Korea when I first got there, I like looked out the plane door and it was like it looked like this Lego land. It looked like Legoland because all the apartment buildings, because everyone lives in these like skyscraper apartment buildings. They do have a lot of Tech, which is like an older kind of fourplex kind of thing. It's got these twisty stairways and it's kind of crazy. But everyone in Korea lives in these like skyscraper apartment buildings that are all built out of concrete. And when they build them, they're in like these like just like if you were looking from a bird's eye view from a plane, it's just like this massive circle. It looks like all these little Legos like just stacked. And then there's like green trees underneath it. So it's like, anyway, it looks crazy. Like nothing I've ever seen before. But the cool thing about Gimpo is like, it was really a nice area. It was kind of the country of Korea, like out in the boonies a little bit. Not like Daejeon. Daejeon's like really the boonies. But Gimpo, it was a big area. So like we had a huge area of just Gimpo where it would take us even a couple hours to drive, like an hour to drive a bus to the other side. And then there was this island that was probably like an hour and a half away from the church that was next to Gimpo. And we'd go out proselyting there as like they'd probably never seen missionaries because there's not missionaries out there. There's not a ward building out there. And so it was kind of fun to go out there. We didn't go out there very much just because it's better to proselyte around the church because people are close to the church will actually come to church, I think there's a statistic, if people are like 20 minutes away from the church, then they don't go as frequently or something. And so we try to work in that 20-minute circle around the church building. But Gimpo had a lot of interesting, like for our P days, we had a blast. We would go and one time we rode our bikes all the way out to this far island. And it took us like an hour and a half to get out there. It like took us like forever. And we were just like cranking on our mountain bikes. And then it was like, we explored all these like Buddhist temples and stuff. And there's a lot of really cool ruins since it's like right on the edge of the ocean, because Korea is like a big peninsula and this was like an island kind of out in the peninsula. There's all these like old forts where they just have like these big dirt mounds and like where they had cannons and all that kind of stuff. So there's like a ton of really cool places to explore on P days, and that was like our favorite thing. Like P days, we'd just like put on our gym clothes and then we'd just start running because we'd get permission, not to wear our missionary attire. We'd wear name tags and stuff, but there would be so much stuff to see that we'd just go explore the countryside and go hike the mountains with all the Korea people. And anyway, it's just a lot of fun being in that area because there's just a lot to see. I can't really remember. There was an island, so there was like, we kind of did some island hopping. And anyway, you're not supposed to ride boats as missionaries. I learned that after. Even though I read it every day, I didn't think a ferry was a boat. So anyway, we rode a ferry out to this like Buddhist temple. It was like really cool. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a fun experience. But some of my favorite memories from Gimpo is actually, I helped find the apartment. I don't know if it's still the apartment that missionaries use there, but it was like the top floor of this skyscraper apartment building, like 23 stories, 25 stories or something. And right next to it was this like huge soccer filled stadium thing. And so every morning for P day, or every morning for exercise, we'd actually wake up at like 6:00 and we'd go play miniature soccer with all these Koreans. And that was like my favorite thing. Like, so about an hour every morning, usually supposed to wake up like 6:30 and then exercise till 7 or something, but we wake up at 6, play soccer for an hour with all these Korean people. They're out there every morning, they're out there in the middle of the winter. Like the weather in Korea is very similar to Utah, I would say, except for way more humid. And so, it does get hot, it does get really cold, it does snow, but it's just humid since it's right next to the ocean. And so, they'd be playing soccer all the time, like every morning. And so it was just a blast getting out there and just playing soccer with these Korean guys who've been doing this their whole lives. And like, I'm not very good at soccer, but I love to play it. And so that was awesome. It helped me get through some harder times on my mission, just to get out there and just play hard.